Airtight World Soldier here, and I'm back to talk about Star Trek Discovery Season 4, Episode 11, and my thoughts on this episode. And my thoughts are feelings, emotions, emotions, feelings, because that was this entire episode. That's all we got from this episode. When we should have been learning about 10C, we were learning about how people feel and how people's feelings could be hurt and blah blah blah. That was this entire episode. It's absolutely ridiculous how that's all Discovery focuses on now. We don't concentrate on the science stuff. We concentrate on people's feelings, and it's getting sickening at this point. I couldn't care less about people's feelings. I couldn't care less about people's emotions. That's why I want to watch Star Trek, not a drama. But all these writers seem to be able to do is write people's emotions. And it's fucking the reason this show doesn't feel like Star Trek, because it's not being written by sci-fi writers or scientists. It's being written by people who concentrate more on their emotions than getting on with their life. This episode was boring, slow, and annoying. Characters in that return to this show seem to be stupid. People who should be in every episode seem to just pop up in random episodes. I mean, I just don't care about most of this crew, because they're either not in the show long enough for me to care, or when they are in the show, they're there for a couple of seconds just to make jokes. And I think if you've watched this episode, you understand who I'm talking about when I say they brought a character back just for jokes. And it's pretty fucking ridiculous. Also, they tried to bring two characters in this episode together that make no sense, as they've never met each other before, or if they have, it was for a brief moment. I mean, Discovery doesn't do anything great, and that's the problem. There is no area of this show you can point to say that's amazing. And if some prick says the CGI, go fuck yourself, because that's literally the easy stuff at this point. Okay? Enterprise did it, Deep Space Nine did it. Again, Star Trek does CGI great. That's never been the best part of an episode. The CGI shouldn't even be in... It shouldn't even be anything of importance. I'm sorry. It should be the characters and the story. So, again, giving the show points for having good CGI is a reach, and literally shows that you don't give a shit about the story. So, if I'm going to give this episode I'm going to grade, I'm going to give it a 0. Again, didn't learn that much, focused on people's emotions too much, and it just feels just a waste of time to watch. So I'm going to go into spoilers now. If you don't want to hear spoilers, leave now. So in 3, 2, 1. So the episode did start off with something I liked, which was a captain's log. Now again, I have kind of figured out they have done captain's log in this show a couple of times, but it shouldn't just be a couple of times. It should be in every fucking episode. It also should not just be used once. It should be used a couple of times in an episode, so we know where we are. But again, I'll give the episode credit for bringing in the captain's log. So Burnham is heading to a planet where they think the 10C have been, to find out more information about the race. And Burnham is taking an away team with her to check out the planet. And the people who are going to be on the away team are Saru, the Doctor, and Deadmore. Now the problem with this away team is you're taking away your second in command, and you're both going on the same away mission, which is against Starfleet protocol, as there should be a senior officer on Discovery to make sure if something goes wrong, they can take control of the ship. And having both senior officers on this away team is dangerous. And I'm happy the president called her out for it. But Burnham explains herself, and the president just gives up. And that's pretty much how every episode goes. The president has a problem with something Burnham has done, and then Burnham just says fuck you and just does it anyway. Oh, goddamn Discovery. And we then get a scene between the General of Earth and Michael, as the General is kind of worried that they're kind of focused on the wrong thing right now. They should be trying to find the 10C and trying to stop them before they destroy Earth. And Michael says, listen, they need to find out information about 10C before they try to make contact with the race, which is a smart thing. But obviously the General is worried because Earth could be destroyed by the time they get back. And we then get half this council that they've brought with them complaining to each other, and then the Asian ambassador guy says to the people, you should be kind of focused on the bigger picture here, not just a few planets, and pretty much makes everybody feel uncomfortable, which I kind of respected. I kind of respected he's challenging these people and not just thinking about their goddamn emotions. But we're going to get back to the Asian ambassador guy because he's going to get a telling off from somebody, which is absolutely ridiculous. So Deadmore, Michael, Saru and the doctor guy go down to the planet and try to figure out who the 10C are. When they get down to the planet and they start moving around, Saru starts seeing things and it starts terrifying him, and he starts to feel like what he used to do back on his home world. But for some weird reason, he wants to keep this quiet. I don't understand why he doesn't just tell everybody that, yeah, he's starting to see things. I know someone's going to say, well, maybe he doesn't want to look crazy, but he's already looking crazy when he's spinning around acting crazy. So why doesn't he just tell the away team, I'm seeing things, help me? But, I don't know, maybe it's his pride. So they find some big bones that are apparently the 10C people. They scan them. They then head off looking around for other things to find out more information about the 10C. The scene then goes to Books and the science guy, who have a plan to sneak onto Discovery so that they can piggyback off them when they go off to see the 10C people. And Book decides to cloak themselves on to Discovery so that they can walk around and hack into the ship's computer so that they can keep an eye on Discovery, and so they can get all the information Discovery gets for the 10C so that they can be ready to attack the 10C if it's needed, if they need to. Why Book and the science guy don't just go to Michael and make a plan with her, I have no idea. But this show is kind of a mess anyway, so fuck it. But anyway, so they beam onto Discovery, they split up. Well, they look for the computer to kind of hack into the ship, and Book then decides to hack into a CCTV camera where he sees the General of Earth and the Vulcan president talking, and he kind of sees that the General is not happy with the situation and she wants to fight. She wants them to focus on, meeting with 10C and not just doing some, planet exploring, which is what she thinks Mike was doing. And yes, you can kind of see why she's concerned, but I don't know, we kind of wasted a bit too much time on the General person. I don't really know why. So Book decides they need help on the ship so that they can, get to the computer, or they need somebody on Discovery who's going to help them if they decide to attack the 10C. So he wants to go meet with the General so that he can persuade her to join his side. The science guy pretty much doesn't think it's a good idea, but he says, if you want to do it, just do it. And so Book tries to meet with the General, and the science guy heads to the engineering room so that he can hack into the ship's computer. We then get a scene between the president and the Asian ambassador guy, and this scene was literally the dumbest scene in this episode, where he's getting told off for challenging the ambassadors, or telling the ambassadors there are bigger things than saving Earth, or they shouldn't be so concerned about one thing, they should be concerned about every other thing. And she pretty much says, stop making people feel bad, basically. You're making people feel uncomfortable. It's like, he's challenging them. He's asking questions. What the fuck is wrong with you? So he's not allowed to answer questions now because it may hurt somebody's fucking feelings. Are you fucking serious? I mean, that's literally the show. Don't care about the science, care about people's emotions. It's such a stupid fucking scene. Like, why do I care about somebody's fucking feelings when we've got bigger fucking issues to worry about? I mean, for fuck's sake. You're telling him off because he made somebody feel a bit uncomfortable? Star Trek never used to be like this. Star Trek used to ask questions. About religion, about race, about blah, blah, blah. Like, everything. There was nothing that was off the table. But he's getting told off because somebody might feel uncomfortable? I mean, fuck you, Discovery. Not everything in the world can be fucking covered up because you might feel a bit uncomfortable about it. God. Bloody hell. So we go back down to the planet. They figure out that they go into a cave where it turns out they figure out that this is a hatching place. So apparently 10C lay eggs. They then then more of the crew start seeing all this. And we just get all this, again, it's just, we figure out that they're in a hatching place. It's then, they all start seeing crazy shit, and they figure out that their suits are not stopping all this environmental gas getting into their suit, which is making them see all this crap. So Deadmore figures out that they need to sort out their suits to make sure that they can stop everything from coming into their suits. She does. We then get all this other emotional crap. Well, actually, what we figure out is that the sand that they're in is full of different emotions. Like, there's emotions from one coloured sand to the other kind of sand. And it's pretty fucking stupid. Because when they go into this hatching place, they start touching this sand that makes them feel happy and feel loved. And outside, they had emotions of fear and panic. And that was because the sand outside was from dead 10C people who were scared. And that, again, that's all this episode was. Just feelings, emotions, feelings. And so they now find out this species has gravel or sand or shit that they can just touch and just feel emotions. And again, this is how they figure out how to communicate with this species now, because of something that happened on Earth, which was to do with Egypt. So they figured out a way to to communicate with the 10C. So it's pretty much they're going to communicate with emotions to talk to this new race. I mean, that's literally the fucking plan. They're going to use emotions to talk to this race with. I mean, that's what these writers do now. My God. So back on Discovery, Book talks to the general person. They agree to work together just in case the 10C do not turn off their DMA. And in the engineering room, we see the engineering woman again. So she's back. Again, why is she in this show? She's not exactly needed. Stamets is the engineer. She's just a waste of time and a waste of space. I'm sorry. There's no point of her to being in this show. There's no point. Oh my God. This show's a mess. An absolute fucking mess. But the science guy tries to distract her to get her out of the engineering room so he can hack into the computer. He does. But when he gets down and tries to hack into the computer. She comes back and finds him, and then the episode ends with her being a captive of the scientist guy and Book, and that's the end of their story in this episode. Discovery then, well, no, Michael then heads back up with the away team back to Discovery, where we get this other scene where they're all talking about their fucking emotions again with each other, because that is everything in this episode. They talk to each other about their emotions, and I'm just bored of it, man. Every damn part. Oh, god damn it. So they go back onto Discovery. We then get a scene between who was it again? Adira and Deadmore, because that needs to happen now. We do this so much in Discovery. Scenes that don't need to be in episodes are put in episodes. I don't care about Adira and Deadmore relationship. I don't care. Like, you could have done this a fucking year ago or episodes ago to have an episode between them two. It might have made more sense to not make it a fucking 2-second meeting to an episode where they work together to achieve something. Because apparently Adira has been looking at Deadmore from afar, hoping to be like her, because they have seen each other when? When have they ever talked to each other? When have they ever communicated with each other? I can't remember. But apparently Adira has had this longing to talk to her from nowhere. From fucking nowhere this is. The writing is terrible for this show. It's absolutely fucking terrible. We then have another scene between Michael and the doctor guy, and again, emotion. Every fucking time, man. And it's pretty much, the doctor's now feeling a bit sorry for the 10C people, because on the planet a couple of them died, and the hatchlings died, and blah blah blah. And Michael's like, yeah, but we shouldn't forget they're trying to kill us. And I can respect that, at least. Oh, we then had the meeting between the council and the away team, where the Asian ambassador guy tries to question the, emotion theory, but then gets a dirty look from the president and just says, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't want to make everybody feel bad. And so he's pretty much been a cucked bitch now. So the guy questioning stuff just told to shut the fuck up because he might make people feel uneasy. I mean, fuck you, Discovery. Just absolutely fuck you. And then the episode ends. A terrible episode. A waste of fucking time. Can we please get different writers for this fucking show? And that's the end of my review. I'm going to be watching Picard in a bit, because they've just released that episode. My review will be out soon. If you like this review, give it a like. If you dislike this review, give it a dislike. And do think about subscribing if you like my content. Again, I'm going off now to watch Picard Season 2. Not expecting that much from this, because I watched Season 1 of Picard. It's probably going to be shit. Fucking it's going to be shit, isn't it? Anyway, bye guys.